Hi everyone, it's Hazel here, Hazel Cottrell from the Creative Content Company, helping your business achieve more online. And today I would like to talk about a blog checklist. So we talk about blogging all the time, but it's really important to check you do certain things when writing a blog post. So as we always mention, the essentials are, when you write a blog post, it needs to be 300 to 600 words as a minimum. You need to make sure that your sentences are less than 20 words ideally, and your paragraphs are about 3 to 5 sentences long as well. They're kind of your real basics when it comes to blog writing. If you've got WordPress, SEO Yoast is a really good way of making sure that you're keeping to those little bits of the checklist. However, there are other things you need to do as well. Get a pen and paper handy. I shall begin. So you need to think about your keywords. What is it you want to be found for? I did a video about this recently. We're talking about the things that you want to be found for. So for example, we are found for copywriters, copywriting, bloggers, blog writing, blog writer, content writing, website content writing, and things like that. So think about the different things you want to be found for and choose one of those to use in your blog post. Ideally, you'd have it in your title where possible, as long as it fits naturally. You need to have it in your blog post 2 to 3 times as well. So look at ways you can put it naturally into it. Keyword stuffing, which means shoving the keyword in 10 times, more than 7 times, 20 times, 50 times, doesn't work. Doesn't look good, doesn't read well, and Google see it as, trying to think of a better word for crap, rubbish. So make sure you don't do keyword stuffing, but make sure your keyword's in there. So you want it in the title and just in your blog post a few times as well. Obviously, the amount of times you have it in it depends on how long your blog post is as well. But if your blog post is 300, 600 words, pop it in there 2 to 3 times, ideally. You also need to think about a series. So are you going to write them in a row? So is there going to be one that follows on to the next or follows on to the next? Now, this is a really good idea if you started writing a blog post and you are at 600 words already and you know that you're nowhere near the finish. So you can split that into different blog posts. At the end of the blog post, you then need to say, come back next week or next month or whenever the next one is ready to get the next instalment. Now, something really, really important about writing a blog series. If you are going to say, come back next week for the second instalment, make sure the second instalment is ready. So again, we use WordPress. So if we've got a series, we'll write them all at once and schedule them for the upcoming weeks. So we can clearly say, come back next week, come back next month, come back on Tuesday, whatever it is. When that second one goes live, you can then log it, internally link it back to the first one. We spoke about internal linking before, but just a quick overview, an internal link is linking one internal page of the website to another internal page on your website. So when you've got a series, make sure they all link from one to the next. So on the first one, say come back next week to read more. As soon as that second one goes live, put the link into the second one. And then on the second one, write following on from the first blog, and there's a link from the first one. So if people land on the second one, they can go back to the first one and get the news from the beginning. Upload it with an image. Make sure you have an image. The biggest benefit of this is it looks exciting. If the image is relevant, it also works because it attracts people to the blog post. And when you are sharing the blog post on social media, if you're using that photo as well, when they link through from social media to your website, they know it's the same blog post because the image is there. Think about the image you're going to upload. And again, if you're using WordPress or other sites, the alt description is really important as well. So make sure you put your keyword in there. So your blog post gets found and the image gets connected to the blog post. Share it. Don't just upload the blog post and go, yep, done, nothing else I need to do here. You need to share that blog post. If it's evergreen content, so evergreen content is something that's relevant today, tomorrow, and always. So for example, this video is evergreen. It makes as much sense today, in theory, it makes as much sense as I can make today as it will do in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years. So think about evergreen content that can be used again and again and again. If your blog post is evergreen, you can continue sharing it. Not everyone's going to see it on the website. Not everyone's going to see it that one time you put it on Facebook. The best way you can do it is take a snippet from the blog post and then share that on social media and then link back to the blog post. And then a few days later, share a different snippet and link back to the blog post. Social media is so easy for the team here at Creative Content Company because we upload a new blog at least every other day. This means we have loads and loads of blog posts to link back to. 75% of our content is evergreen, so it means we can always link back to that content as well. So think about the content you're writing and how you can link back to it, and go back to blog posts you've written 2 or 3 years ago, and if they are still relevant today, then share them on your social media and link back to your website. So your blogging checklist. Make sure your 300 300, 600 words long as a minimum. Make sure you've got your keywords in there. Make sure your sentences are short. Make sure your paragraphs are short. This means it's skimmable and can be read through easily. Make sure that if you're doing a series, the next one is ready. Make sure you upload an image with your blog post and make sure you share it. That's Hazel Cottrell at the Creative Content Company, helping you increase your online presence. And that was your blog checklist for this week. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.